So where's this journey going, this online buying journey? Well, consumers are looking at more avenues such as Amazon or Apple, where they've got everything at their fingertips and they don't even need to walk into a store. Google tells us that 1% of the vehicles purchased last year were actually online. When surveying consumers, 52% of these consumers said that they'd be open to doing a deal from start to finish online in the future. That's powerful. A lot of this is driven by the younger generations out there. I mean, just take a look at your under 25 class. 65% of those consumers wouldn't mind ever leaving the house on their next purchase for a vehicle. But also take a look at the older age groups. The age groups between 45 and 54, 55% of those consumers are also open to buying a vehicle online. So with that defining the consumer behavior out there, what role do third-party lead providers have? Well, Google will tell you that 64%, the majority of the consumers, are still seeking out a neutral place where they can get that quote and unbiased information and compare all those makes, models, trims, new, used. Something else that's interesting is taking a look at click-through rates. Looking at the behavior when a consumer clicks on an ad of that of a dealer or an OEM, we're looking at a click-through rate of about 2% today. Google will tell you that a company such as Auto-By-Tel or a third-party provider, one of these neutral places, has a much higher click-through rate, 11% click-through rate of a consumer that actually clicks through on an ad. Consideration shapes how consumers choose vehicles. Consideration also shapes how consumers choose dealerships. If dealerships aren't on third-party sites, they miss out on influencing purchase decisions as they're being formed. Miss out on consideration, miss out on lot visits, miss out on sales. So to recap this information that Google gave us, car shopping search sessions involve cross-shopping 72% of the time. Consumers trust third-party auto sites more than a dealer manufacturer website for comparison. For research and review searches, click-through rates on a paid ad are 5 times higher for third-party sites than for dealers and OEMs with similar ad postings. And lastly, consumers using third-party site content to decide on a dealer has grown 33% year over year. Today we talked about the mystery lead, the consumer that told you they never submitted the request. Maybe it wasn't them. Now that we can understand the psychology of why consumers are saying that, now that we can understand the psychology of why a consumer may not be too hot on that new car, the request that they just submitted because a used car is more in line for them, or they're looking at too much model. Now that we understood the journey of the consumer from start to finish, that 14, 15, now 16-hour journey that the consumer makes online, now that we understand the importance of a third-party neutral website where the consumer can go to get better information, hopefully with all this information, we can take it, embrace it, and ultimately engage with more consumers and sell more cars online. Understanding where the consumer came from makes it a lot easier to help the consumer get to where they need to go.